Hey guys, I'm Nishant and I like to train dogs, and in this series of videos I'm going to be showing you guys how you can train your dog the right way. Things may not always go as planned, but then again training a dog is not as easy as it sounds. So with all that said, let me welcome you guys to the dog training series with Nishant. Hey guys, my name is Nishant and I'm going to be sharing some tips on how you can start training your dog. Before I start talking to you guys about how you can start training your dog, I want to tell you guys about when you can start training your dog. No particular time or age as such for you to start training your dog. Dog training begins the moment you bring your dog home. So with all that said, let's dive right into today's video, guys. Okay, so the first thing I want you guys to do before you actually start training your dog is to observe your dog's day-to-day activities for a few days. The reason I say this is because this will really help you figure out what your dog really likes the most. Some dogs just like to play, some dogs just like to eat, while some other dogs just like to sleep throughout the day. Once you've figured out what your dog really likes, then you can start using that to train your dog, as dogs are highly responsive when they're glued with something that they really love. The next important thing you want to keep in mind, whether you're training an adult dog or a puppy, is to get them into a daily training routine pattern. What I mean by this is that you want to allocate different times during the day to train your dog and maintain this training schedule every day. For example, I used to train my dog for a short span before each of his meals. Maintaining this training schedule strictly every day is going to put your dog into a structural training pattern, as your dog would know when to expect a training session next. And the reason I chose to start training my dog before his meal is because the more hungry the dog is, the more likely they are to listen to you, as they already know that they'll be receiving their meal after the training session. Now, when it comes to actually training your dog, you want to get 3 to 4 short yet memorable training sessions with your dog, as dogs that are new to training won't have a long attention span and will get bored very easily. So you want to get your training over with before your dog actually gets bored. And you also want to end your training on a high positive note most of the time. What I mean by this is that you want to make your dog do something correctly a few times before you end the training session with your dog, as dogs tend to remember what they did last in the previous training session. You also want to give your dog a lot of treats, as well as have a small play session with your dog after the training session, and this will keep your dog eagerly waiting for his next training session with you. Something that I want all you dog owners out there to remember while training your dog is to always be lively and provide your dog with a lot of praise and encouragement while you train your dog. Also, never forget to let your dog know that he is doing a great job with the slightest bit of progress that he is making. And also try to refrain from harsh treatment while training your dog, as this will not help you train your dog, and you will be only teaching your dog to react to something out of fear, which will really not be effective in the long run.
Take 1 plus 1 is equal to. That's all. Good boy.
So another thing I would want you guys to do while training your dog is to introduce code words that will let your dog know whether they have done something correctly or incorrectly. Some people like to use a clicker for the same purpose, but I like to say a simple yes or a no to depict whether my dog has done something correctly or incorrectly. Let's say, for example, you're trying to teach your dog how to sit. So what I'd like you guys to do is to say a simple yes before you give your dog a treat or as a reward when he does a sit correctly every time. What this will do is that it is going to help your dog relate to the fact that he has done something correctly, or he has done something that is going to fetch him a reward each time you say yes.
Sit down, play dead. Yes, good boy, Patrick.
Similarly, you just want to say a no and do not follow it up with a treat when your dog has done something wrong. And over time, it is going to let your dog know that he hasn't done something correctly and he will not be receiving a treat for this. One thing I would recommend you guys to do while training your dog is to associate each trick or command that you're trying to teach your dog with a hand signal or action, as dogs pick up body language much easier than simple voice commands, and this will help your dog realize what you're actually asking him to do. Okay guys, so with all these tips in mind, you can now go ahead and start training your dog. I would recommend you guys to start with basic obedience training for your dog and then work your way from there. You can start off with commands like sit, down, recall, and then work your way from there to harder tricks and commands once your dog has mastered his obedience. If you guys want to know how to train your dog basic commands like sit, down, recall, etc., then make sure you check out my dog training series of videos, for which I'll be leaving the link in the description. So an additional final tip I want to give you guys when it comes to bringing a new dog home is that you want to lay out the ground rules of your house in terms of what your dog can and cannot do from the minute they step inside the new home. And this will help you guys in raising an obedient house pet dog as well. Okay guys, and with that we now come to the end of today's video, and if you guys found this video useful and would like to follow more of my content which I'll be bringing to you guys every week, then please do leave a like and hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the bell icon as well so you don't miss any of my future videos. And also let me know down in the comment section if you guys are facing any particular issues while training your dog, and I will surely try to help you guys out. And with all that said, this is your boy Nishant signing off, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.